YouTube, what's up, y'all?
What is up, y'all? We are back again, and we are back to discuss something that was always kind of questionable.
And it wasn't until we talked about it on TikTok to where you were like, we should do a video on that on YouTube.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about Jehovah's Witnesses and tattoos. Yeah, this is a tricky one. So we'll go to the reason that they are against tattoos.
Yeah.
And then some of the hypocrisy that goes along with where they are getting that information from.
Yes, and the unspoken reasons, the unspoken rules.
So let's get into it.
All right, so let's see what this says. What does the Bible say about tattoos? The Bible's answer, the Bible mentions tattoos just one time at Leviticus 19:28, which says, "You must not put tattoo marking upon yourselves." God gave this command to the nation of Israel, thus setting them apart from the neighboring people who mark their skin with the names or symbols of their gods. While the law given to Israel is not binding on Christians, the principle underpinning this law is worth serious consideration. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to talk about because, Leviticus is obviously in the Old Testament. There are so many rules that are in the Old Testament that even Jehovah's Witnesses will say, no, we don't follow that anymore because it's like an Old Testament rule, you know? And that is something that is also in the Old Testament. I remember whenever we were talking about this on TikTok, they were like, we had somebody say, oh, no, like tattoos, it's written in the Bible. I'm like, okay, but so is mixing fabrics. And we all mix fabrics nowadays, you know? And they were like, no, that's the Old Testament next. And I'm like, that's the point. Yeah. Tattoos are also in the Old Testament.
They pick and choose. And we can even pull up a couple of just random scriptures in, Leviticus. Yeah. And we'll show that they do some and then don't do the other ones.
Right. And also, I think it's worth noting that the reasoning that they had behind not doing tattoos back then was to separate you from different religious groups, in a sense. Other tribes who served other gods would mark their skin with tattoos and things like that. So people who followed Jesus did not mark their bodies with tattoos.
Yeah, because Christianity is a very new religion.
Yeah.
It was a lot of things here long thousands of years before this. So you can't go off of that.
You look at so many different tribes that have marked their bodies, like even whenever you look at old African tribes and old Native American tribes, and even like coastal tribes and things like that, they marked their bodies with certain tattoos that represented their tribe.
Yeah. And I guess we can pull up a couple of them here. So like we just did Leviticus 19. We can just do some of what was before it and a little bit after it. So here Leviticus 19, and we'll go at 26. You must eat nothing containing blood. You must not look for omens or practice magic. Now stop there. Do they realize that baptizing or cleansing something in water is a practice of magic?
Exactly. Everything is a practice of magic. Prayer, it's the same thing. You don't want to call it magic, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's your words. It's spoken manifestations. It's all of that. It's vibration. It's frequency.
It's all magic, right? Yeah. So moving on. This is another one. 27. You must not shave the hair on the side of your head or disfigure the edges of your beard. All right. And for the longest, this was the reason why Jehovah's Witnesses could not wear beards.
Literally.
And out of nowhere, you know what? Scratch that. They literally will pick and choose
what they want
to use out the Bible in the Old Testament. You can keep going, and this is where that came from. You must not make cuts in your flesh for a dead person. And you must not make tattoo markings on yourselves. I am Jehovah.
Yeah.
So who knows? They may at one point down the line, if we have a habit of predicting stuff on accident, they may go, you know what, the tattoos, that's up to you now.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of always has been like a conscious matter, but it's not really, because the way that they talk about it is like, which we're going to show you guys, because the way they talk about it is always looking down on it.
Exactly.
You know, it's the way that they say things where it's like, you know that you're not supposed to be doing it. They never come flat out and say, no, you should not get tattoos. But they'll say things and be like, this is why Christians have made the decision not to get tattoos.
Yep, guilt trip you from it. And just like this, well, the Bible only says it once. Yeah. But this is what it did say. The one time, out of all of the times in this Bible, the one time it was looked at in a negative light. So we're going to share that one with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to let you know, it's like, babe, should I do my hair like this?
Yeah.
Oh, you free. It's a conscious matter. But I would hate it. Like, dang, just say no. Like, just make it that simple.
Yeah.
Another one we could bring up, Leviticus 22. And we'll go to 26. And it says, Jehovah spoke further to Moses, saying, when a bull or a young ram or a goat is born, it will continue with its mother for 7 days. But from the 8th day forward, it will be accepted with approval as an offering made by fire to Jehovah.
Yeah.
So
nobody makes offerings anymore.
No, so why is it that the tattoo thing is going to be, oh no, because Leviticus said this. Yeah. Well, Leviticus also says to make an offering on the 8th day.
Right.
What Christians do you know that is making blood or animal offerings?
Right. And see, this is even farther than just Jehovah's Witnesses. A lot of Christians still go by this rule too of not tattooing your skin. Like it doesn't look. There's other, Christian groups that are more modern, I guess you would say, that they don't, they're not going to care about it too much.
Right.
But like, there's a lot of older day Christians that are just like, no, tattoos
old school
are bad. They make you look evil.
I remember when I graduated, and this is a little over a decade ago, they told us, don't get tattoos or color your hair because you'll never get a job.
Yes.
And that was the rule in 2010 to 2012, in that era when I was in school. That was fact. But that's not reality. That's not the world we live in.
Not fact anymore.
No, that's an old way of thinking. Yes. And a lot of our generation is becoming entrepreneurs. And we're not with the traditional stay at a company. Not saying there's nothing wrong with the teacher's own, but a lot of our generation is not with staying at a job for 30 years and just accepting whatever they give to. A lot of the young people are becoming the ones in charge, and we more about, can you do the job?
Can you do the job? That's all we care about. Because even I could say, even for nursing, that was a huge thing. Like tattoos in school, we could not, and this was just in 2018, like you could not, if you had tattoos, you could not show your tattoos, like to clinicals and things. You had to wear like these sleeves. And then for nose piercings, like you couldn't have nose piercings and stuff and extra piercings. All you could have is like one stud or one very small hoop in your ear, you know? And some of those rules still exist, but like really everybody has tattoos as in the hospital nowadays, and nobody cares because they need a job to be done. And if your only pick is people who have tattoos, then that's what you're going to use because the job needs to be done. Which one of y'all tattoo people know how to get the job done? Right.
Okay, because the ink it's your own journey. It has nothing to do with, even like face tattoos. Years ago, that was crazy.
That was really bad.
No, but now there are people, professionals, basketball players, entertainers, entrepreneurs that may have, a tattoo here or the side of their head or something because people don't care.
I had a nurse manager, I'll never forget him because he was the first person that I seen in like a managerial position who had tattoos everywhere. Like, I mean, he was like a biker guy from his neck down, every single one of his knuckles, and he was the unit director.
Because can he get the job done? That's it.
I think something that I've never really liked about the Jehovah's Witness organization is that so many things are rooted in how you are looked at and perceived by other people. Yep. It's always like about appearances, and it doesn't necessarily have to be who it is that you are, but instead who it is that you represent yourself to be.
True.
And that's probably one of the most annoying parts. But same thing with the tattoos. So here's a part of it says, how would it affect your reputation? Like it or not, your appearance sends a message. It identifies you as either adult-like or immature, as either trustworthy or irresponsible. Whenever I see someone with a tattoo, I automatically put him in the drinking and partying category, says a teenager named Samantha. Melanie, 18, sees another aspect to it. To me, she says, tattoos hide your natural beauty. It's as if those who wear them don't want you to see who they really are. So they hide themselves underneath tattoos.
And the fact that they put the opinions of teenagers in this for adults to go, dang, that teenager said that, man, and then you don't understand. Everything is about perspective in life.
Everything is
Some people will look at a tattoo, especially a lot of the older generation.
And they have that thought.
Yep, they have that thought. Oh, that is ugly. Why would you do that to yourself? Yeah. And then you'll have another person to be like, that'll stop. Hey, man, what, you mind if I see your tattoo?
Yeah.
Man, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like this about it. I like the message behind it.
Yeah.
I wanted to get this, but I wasn't sure about it. And then it inspires people. Yeah, right. So you can't sit there and try to put one person's opinion on another person who thinks the exact opposite. You may not like it, but somebody else may think it's cool.
Yeah, and people express themselves in these ways, like with tattoos and things like that. I just think it's so annoying whenever people try to stop you from doing things because of how another person like perceives it. Mm-hmm. Okay, just because you're not the type to like tattoos doesn't mean that there's a whole 50% of the world that does like tattoos. You know what I mean? Everybody's different because it goes the same thing even in relationships. Like some men absolutely despise tattoos on women. You know what I mean? And some women don't like tattoos on men. But those are just not your people. You know what I mean?
Find your community, find your vibe.
Right.
Yeah, do what works for you at the end of the day. And it's ridiculous if you would love to do something. Yeah. That's you. Yeah. That's what you want to do. And somebody else is telling you, I don't like that, so you can't be you or you can't do what you enjoy. No, if you like tattoos, the tattoo community is for you. And if you don't like it, don't tell other people not to do it.
Yeah, and the point is you're not hurting anybody within this, by you getting a tattoo.
Right.
Something worth mentioning too is that when it comes to people's thoughts about tattoos, like if you look at the older generations, my parents, your grandparents, like everything comes from some kind of indoctrination. Like all of our thoughts, a lot of times if we're not questioning them, it comes from somebody else's thoughts and beliefs. And so for them, if their grandparents and their parents were telling them, hey, like tattoos are for criminals, like they don't look good, you can't get a job, blah, 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 this and that, like that's just coming from that voice, you know? And sometimes they haven't taken the time to actually think about where it comes from. They just, that's just always been their viewpoint, versus our generation is different. And like, so many of us have tattoos, so we know not to prejudge a person just based off of markings on their skin.
No, because it's their own artwork. And a lot of what makes our generation different, we move with the time. Yeah. We are, or at least are better. I would say we are better at adjusting with the time. Yeah. And the older generation, a lot of them are stuck in their ways. And it makes me think about my parents' generation. The generation before them didn't like rap music when it came out. Very rare. They did not like that style. Because I can't understand the words. What are they talking about? And the beat too fast. Yeah. Because they grew up on singing. Then the next generation had singing, and then they also had this new style, this hip hop stuff. Yeah. And a lot of them hate it. And then our parents' generation, a lot of them didn't like some of our music. And then we noticed at our age, we don't like the teenage, early 20s people music as much as ours. But we have to also understand that times change.
Yeah. That's just their situation, because I feel the same way. Like, I think that our music was so much better than, let's say, my sister's music, and then I go hang out with my 13-year-old sister, and she's listening to all the rap that I think is absolute garbage, but I mean, they love it,
It's their art.
It's their art form. And it's also with the times, because it very much preaches, like, close about political things that are happening in current times and different things like that. So I don't know. It's just different.
And you are also inspired by what you see.
Yeah, true.
So the new generation, what they are seeing is what is reflected in the music.
Yeah.
Same thing with tattoos. Next, we'll jump into this next article, and it's the subheading, What Will Others Think? You should also give serious thought to how others might feel about your wearing a tattoo, as many react negatively. Not all, but many. On a whim, Lee, a woman in Taiwan, got a tattoo at age 16. Now, she is a 21-year-old office worker. It bothers me the way my coworkers stare at the tattoo, Lee admits. British mental health worker Theodore Dalrymple says that to many people, tattoos are often the visible sign that a man ... belongs to a violent, brutal, antisocial, or criminalized subculture. We'll jump down to the last paragraph. Consider also whether choosing to get a tattoo would enhance or undermine your claim of being a Christian. Could it be a cause for stumbling others? True, some youths have had their tattoos placed on hidden areas of the body. Even their parents may not know about these secret tattoos, but beware. An emergency trip to the doctor or simply taking a shower at school can make your secret common knowledge. Better it is to conduct ourselves honestly in all things, avoiding foolish deception.
See, so this is the kind of articles that come out. Like, no, it never says, no, you should not get a tattoo. But you hear the undertone. And the undertone is very much, don't get a tattoo. Like,
exactly. How is it viewed? It's not looked at in a positive light.
No, not at all. It's literally trying to coerce you into not doing it and saying that to conduct yourself honestly, and it could undermine your claim of being a Christian if you did get a tattoo because of how other people view it.
And that's what it comes down to. It's you get this one life.
Yeah.
Do something that you enjoy, that you like. Everybody else can't live for you, and you have a brilliant idea, but you go, you know what? But everybody else is not going to like it. It's not going to hurt the people around you, because we're not talking the ripple effect of making bad choices and causing chaos and destruction and harming people. You're doing something harmless that's just you.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's so true. And it does say, like, some youths have had their tattoos placed on hidden areas of the body. And this is a good point to bring out, because I know a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses who have went and gotten a tattoo done. But it'll be like on their rib cage or something. So you're only going to see it if you go and wear a bikini, you know what I mean? Or on their ankle, or like, you know, somewhere like that. Like, there was a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses who would do that.
A lot of them. And I remember playing ball. That's when you would find out what brothers had tattoos and stuff.
Yep.
And I remember when I came back from being disfellowship, I could care less.
Yeah.
I went high, no tattoos. All my stuff was visible. I had a sleeve and a half sleeve in my chest and back.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. And
you forget about them.
Yeah, and it's not, I was at the point where I didn't care. When I got reinstated, I never stopped getting tattoos.
Right.
I got enough tattoos on me that if I put another one here, you won't even know the difference. I know the difference because I know where my stuff is, but I would just add more and get shade done to it. Because so what? Witnesses get tattoos. They may hide and not talk about it, but I know a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses that sneak and get tattoos.
And who have always wanted a tattoo. I think the organization is such a place where they do things out of judgment. You know what I mean? Like, they coerce you into not doing things because of the judgment that comes with it. It's usually your peers that are going to judge you the hardest. Like, if I would have even thought about getting a tattoo back whenever I was an active Jehovah's Witness, I know exactly which friends of mine would have been like, why would you do that? Like, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's not very Christian-like and things. So that's just the kind of environment that you're in. You're in a very suppressed environment of being able to express yourself.
You can. And something that I don't like is it may stumble others. You talking about some grown adult. If you don't like tattoos and you don't want a tattoo,
don't get one.
Don't get one. And what does that have to do with that person over there that got one?
Literally.
How are you going to be stumbled? You look over there because at the meetings you are supposed to cover up all your tattoos.
Yeah.
You seeing a person's tattoo stumbles you in what way?
Right.
Are you that weak Is Jehovah's protection not with y'all the way y'all claim it is?
Right.
It should be irrelevant. If somebody over there want to smoke crack, that's their business. It's not going to make me want to do it. I don't want to do that.
Facts.
Same with a tattoo. You don't want a tattoo, you're not going to want to get one just because somebody over there got it. No. Unless you what? Secretly want tattoos. That's simple.
That's true.
I remember on TikTok recently on that video.
Yeah.
What kills me is the new Jehovah's Witnesses who studying and just getting baptized trying to tell the OGs, the ones who got decades in it, what's what. One said, this isn't true because I just got baptized and I have tattoos.
It's different.
Listen, bozo. You can most people you see that had tattoos, especially like in the older days, they had their tattoos before being a Jehovah's Witness.
Most people, like you, whenever they got disfellowship, they went and got tattoos.
Yeah, so they are not going to deny you baptism. They thirsty for numbers. They need people to get baptized. They're not going to be like, you know what? You can't be a Jehovah's Witness because when we met you, you got a tattoo on your arm.
Yeah.
No, that stuff doesn't matter. So a lot of people either already got them or they sneak and get them.
Yeah.
And I promise you, if they come up with new light on tattoos, it's gonna be they're gonna flood the kingdom halls. You're gonna have brothers that's good at art that's gonna start doing tattoos for people.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, people are going, that's another thing. You can't be a tattoo artist if you're a Jehovah's Witness. I never even thought about that.
Nope, you can't.
I never thought about that.
And think about how many people are talented that could probably do bomb tattoo work.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they probably would be able to do tattoos on their own time for money instead of having to work and miss meetings and all that stuff. They can make a real living doing tattoos.
I've never met a Jehovah's Witness tattoo artist.
Nope, me either.
Never.
No.
Because usually if you're a tattoo artist, you have tattoos yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, but let us know what y'all think. We come across a lot of people that got ink as Jehovah's Witnesses and former ones who left and got their first tattoo. Some middle-aged people, 40s, 50s, got their first tattoo because it's like, man, I always wanted one, but I couldn't.
My mom got her first tattoo when she was in her 40s.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep, but let us know what y'all think in the comments. Hit us on our Instagram at Awaken Truths IG. We got our TikTok booming, almost at 3K right now. That's at Awaken Truths LLC.
We have our healing journals for you guys, the Pimo version and the normal version. And that's about it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch y'all in the next one.
Peace.